Alright guys, you've seen my little garden, my little plants, but I wanted to kind of talk about gardening in a desert. Now you see all of this out here is kind of straggly, thin little branches, and they all got flowers on them. This little area here, I had tried to put plants in there several times, but when they built the house, the overflow from the garage floor and the sidewalk, there's cement in there. So even though it looks like you got a big area to dig, you can't dig down there because, like here in the corner, I can't even get nothing in there because it's all like chunks of cement. So pretty much I start from here. And I had tried several different plants to put in there. When they say drought resistance, that usually means not until they're established, which means usually about a year for them to get established in the ground. And then they can become drought resistant. So I have my little flowers here are doing good. I just put the bulbs in there to kind of help it. That little purple one I got marked down. Looks kind of rough right now, but let's see if it'll pop back up. And I got those. They're all going good. After several attempts of trying to get flowers to grow here, I finally got this. This here is called a Vinca, V-I-N-C-A. And I bought how they have like 6 plugs of flowers. And I said, okay, this is the last time I'm going to do it. See if I can't get these to grow. I put those in the ground, and as you see, they've grown. Now you could get white flowers. I got these little purple lilac, and I get the rosy red. Okay, they look kind of rough now, but that's because they've come out of winter and they didn't have much water. So yeah, it was very successful. So when my son, I was watering it with the hose every day, and when my son see me doing that, he said, well, I'll put a drip system. So we bought this timer years ago. You could tell it's kind of ancient looking. These plants loved it. They just took off all winter long. I have flowers. They're just great. Now, last year, my spigot down there, it busted right there by that little piece. And I thought I had one, and it took me a while to go and get one. Plus, it was winter time, so I didn't really want to go out there and get it because it wasn't really necessary. So that's why my plant looks kind of scraggly now, because it came out of winter with hardly any water. This was broken. So I got all this fixed. And then to my surprise, I get this. This here was some wildflowers that I threw in here, and most of them came in this area. I threw them in last year. Nothing came up. This year, this came up. It's like a sunflower. So, there's my little ones there. Hopefully they'll do good. Hey guys, me and my sister, we went to Lowe's today because I was there the other day. I had bought some plants that I showed you in my front. They had dirt, buy 3 bags, get 3 free. And at the time, I thought it was for these 10-pound bags. So I told my sister, we said, well, that's good. I said, we could get 6 bags and split the cost. It'd be like $15 a piece, $5 a bag for a $10 bag of dirt. So I thought, okay, that's going to be good. Doing our shopping today, we stopped over there, but they were actually, for today, had a smaller bag for the same like that, buy 3, get 3 free. And they were normally 5 something. So it comes out to a little over $2 a bag. Now the other day I had bought a bag and it was $7. It was on sale and it was a bigger bag. So I got 3 bags for a little over $7. That was probably a little more of that $7 bag when you add it all up. Not much more. When you start doing your plants, you need a lot of dirt, especially out here because I can't put a lot of things in the ground. This ground out here, even though it don't look like it, it'll look like just sand out there. But you go to dig in it and it's like cement under there. You know, that's why we have to have somebody come out and do the fence. Time we rented equipment to dig a hole in this ground to put post, we might as well let a professional person do it. You know, I do have to run around tomorrow. I've got a routine doctor's appointment. I'm gonna do some grocery shopping. I have a prescription to pick up, so it's like an all-day affair because I go to the base and do all of that. Friday, I thought I just bought me a new hose for up front because the hose I had was kind of short. It was short. I wanted one to reach all the way to my hanging baskets. So I bought another hose that's probably the same size hose I got out there, but I just connected them together. And then I bought me another nozzle. So at least I could get closer to my potted pots because against the garage is all drip. And then I could just spray them down with water real quick. We have water restrictions out here, and I understand why, because out here you can't water the, flowers like this. That's how the boys do. They'll throw water up in the air. We watered the plants. No, that water does not get to the plants. Evaporates before it hits the ground out here. I mean, and you see the water, it's coming down, but a lot of that water evaporates. Best thing if you have anything in the ground is a drip system. And it drips. And you think, how does that kind of work? But if you think of a drip, it drips till it saturates right there. And then next thing you know, a drip's coming out at the bottom. Drips here. It forces a water drop out here. And that's how it eventually feeds, those plants. And those plants, they flourish out here if you do it down by the roots. Now, I have a lot of mine in pots. So I have to, sprinkle or put water in there. There is on the nozzle, when you turn it, there's one called the soaker. And that's what I usually use to water. So I put that soaker right there, the hose. And the water goes right down into there. It's not splattering out or nothing. And that's how I water each one like that. Now, like I said, Friday, I've got these 1 gallon plastic containers. I kind of painted the outside with fun colors. I'm thinking, because I got all my seeds in these little paper that you get to start seeds in. It's like 8, I think, are attached. Once the plant grows in there, you could just pot that whole thing in the dirt because dirt will take it over, and the water, it'll decompose, so you don't have to worry about pulling that out or anything. I think that's what I'm going to do because it's starting to get pretty hot here. I mean, it's jumping from 70 to 90, 80, then back down to 60. It's like going all over the place. So I think by putting them in these containers and then digging those down in there, then when I water it, it'll keep it more moist and may have more of a chance of survival. Because I got to get my garden going. It's already like the middle of April. I would already have stuff growing, by now. And it was just because this weather, up and down, up and down. We had enormous winds, so you couldn't put nothing out there. It was just knocking everything around. You might put seeds out there, they're gone, But I just kind of I'll show you Friday when I do stuff. We'll work in the yard together. That's kind of my plan. Try to get a little beauty around my house in a desert, in a crazy world. We'll see what happens. Getting my buckets ready, so I'm drilling small holes in here. And then I think I'll go back with a bigger drill tip because they're kind of little, which might be okay, but I want at least a couple of bigger ones. So I got 8 buckets. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to start putting my vegetables in here. Well, I got my little garden started. Look at me. Kind of warm out here. Bill took off and he locked me out. So I'm waiting for him. I went to go get a drink of water and I can't get in the house. So I did all my buckets. Let me show you here. I got all my buckets and I put the dirt in there, and I got all my vegetables. And over here, I did a little herb garden right there. And I got a couple more things to put in here. I've got some here I forgot, I didn't label. I was frustrated at one point and I'm going to have to, got one coming up here. I don't know what it is. I'll have to wait and see. I got a flower. One little tomato. And I got lettuce there. Nothing there. Nothing there. I did throw a little more seeds in here. And then I gotta rig this up here so I have something in the middle of this. I've got rope that I could do and hang my pots up there. I see Bill just got home, so let me go. I have these two lanterns. I think I showed them to you already. One of them's looks like it got squished. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, this one here. It's got see, one of the glasses broke or fell out. It's not broken. I'm going to try to clean this glass up. I scrubbed them. Got a lot of the excess, peeling paint off. Then I got some black hammered paint. I'll have to seal up all the glass and spray paint these. I want to hang these, and I got a project I'm going to do. So I cemented my little poles in these little buckets. So now I'm going to make sure the holes are drilled, make sure I have all that so I can start putting my plants in there. Okay, so as you see, I don't show it, but I drilled holes in the bottom of this pot here. I put some dirt under there to kind of raise this up. I also drilled some holes in here because I'm going to cover this whole top with dirt and plant my flowers in there. So far, that's what I got done. So, I got my little pot, the flowers potted in there. And there's my little lantern. But it's not going to hold it. When I put it on there, it bends over. I'm going to let it sit there overnight. It may not work because the pole I got says it's a garden flagpole stand, so it's something light on there, but I could put a little flag on there. So we shall see. Okay guys, so probably be finishing this little video that I've been working on about my garden, how to garden in Las Vegas. So I just got back from running around this morning, early this morning. Sold one of my jars. It's a mason jar, and I decoupaged a napkin. I painted it, decoupaged a napkin on it. It came out really cute, I think. So I sold it. Ooh, I had to get that mailed out. I went to the store and picked up a couple items. I was home by 10:30. It may look crude, but I got all my little vegetables hanging up there. I'm hoping this will work out okay. I just have like these picket fences laying across there. Nothing fancy, just to kind of keep them off the ground. And I got a garlic growing here, so we'll see if that comes around. I did get me a couple little pillows from Walmart. They're $5. And especially I wanted one because my little cart has that little tractor seat on it. I'm going to be pulling that over into my garden area so I can use that to sit on. I just wanted to kind of close this little vlog I got going that, about my yard. Trying to get my yard situated here. We're still going to configure stuff. These flowers here, they are great for this kind of weather. They love the heat. They stay active pretty much all winter till it got really cold. Then they died back and they came back. Good job. This is coming back. See how beautiful green it is? And this one over here. These here are actually trailing jennies, and they are good for the ground. I wish I could get them in the ground. It's just too rough out here. But as you see, we still got cleanup we got to do. They're supposed to come this week for the fence. Start doing that. I've got my weed bush over there that loves all the weeds. I've got cardboard. I need to get that all cut down and put my cardboard down. Got that little archway. Anything I got trailing from my garden, I may wire it onto this. Some of the plants I have something to climb on. But yeah, I like my little garden. Little place that just kind of set out here in the shade. With that, I've got a lot of other stuff to do, like my regular chores. I better get busy and get stuff done. I hope you like my little segment on my garden. I'll show you from time to time. We'll do a little segment on the garden so you can kind of see how it's coming along. As a final note, I just want to say that this video is kind of like a little distraction from what's going on in this crazy world right now. We cannot lose focus of what is going on in this world. And I just say to everybody out there, be informative. Get your facts. This is the era of information and communication. And so there's no excuse for anybody not knowing what's going on. It's pretty scary. I'm a woman, so a lot of things are pretty scary for me. I'm a senior woman. My Social Security's on the line. There's a lot of scary things out there. So even though I thought a good little video of, just kind of my garden kind of helps you, I don't know, feel normal a little bit, because this is not a normal world we're living in. But we got to keep our sanity. We got to stay grounded. We got to be strong. So with that, I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you later, alligator. Bye.